Let me be honest, we never loved you. The silence lasted for 3 seconds before 4 guests at my parents' Hampton estate realized what my mother had just said out loud, in front of everyone she had ever tried to impress. I simply stood up, smoothed my dress, and smiled. Thank you for the honesty. Have a wonderful evening. Then I walked out the front door. The next morning, my phone lit up with 91 missed calls. My name is Elena. I am 33 years old, and I am the managing director of the private equity acquisitions at Meridian Capital Group, one of the most aggressive investment firms on the Chicago financial corridor. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Hit like and subscribe if you ever have to smile through a family betrayal and execute a flawless revenge. The noise started away every fourth family gathering over it. Crystal chandeliers, scattered food, and 40 country club guests watching my parents perform the role of a family that loved each other. It was my 33rd birthday. My sister Brooke, 30, and the undisputed golden child were bragging about her wellness brand, Lemire, which had just been pitched to an angel investor. Her husband Tyler, a commodity broker who wore luxury watches he couldn't afford, leaned across the table with a smoke ring. Still grinning at that corporate desk, Elena? Brooke just glowed a 6th round. Entrepreneurship is where real wealth is created. I didn't mention that Brooke had already burned through 2 previous companies. I didn't mention that my corporate debt overshot a portfolio worth over $7 billion. I just smiled and said, I'm happy where I am. Then my father Richard rose, tapped his champagne glass, and the room quieted. Everyone expected to warm but their souls. Instead, my mother Diana stood, looked directly at me, and spoke in a voice that carried across every inch of that dining room. Since we're surrounded by our closest friends tonight, let me be honest. We never loved you. Your existence has always been an exhausting responsibility. You were a burden, a constant reminder of everything we wish has gone differently. The room went to stone. Out of the corners of my eyes, I saw Brooke and Tyler's exchange a smirk. They wanted tears. They wanted me to sadder. Instead, I felt clarity. I placed my napkin beside my plate, stood, and looked directly into Diana's eyes. Thank you for the honesty. Have a wonderful evening. I walked down. My car was waiting. I opened my banking app and pressed execute. My Chicago penthouse was flooded with morning light when I woke up. I felt lighter than I had in 33 years. No thrift, no honor checks, no desperate inventory of what I have done wrong. I make espresso, stretch, and then pick up my phone from the kitchen counter. 91 missed calls. Diana, 32. Richard, 27. Brooke, 22. Tyler, 10. I went straight to voicemail. Tyler had left 3 minutes of poor panic at 6:47 a.m. His voice was unrecognizable. The smooth, authoritative gardens of the family dinner table completely gone, replaced with flat breathing and the sound of car horns. His platinum cards had been declined at a power breakfast with 3 private equity executives. Every card frozen. Brooke's developer payroll had bounced. His boss nearly died this morning because the auto payment didn't clear. He threatened cybercrime charges and demanded I call the bank and reserve everything immediately, or he would have me arrested. I took a slow sip of espresso and let the silence sit. It was fascinating How quickly a lifestyle built entirely on borrowed money collapses the second the supply is cut. Tyler has spent years dispensing unsolicited financial wisdom at family dinners, flashing watches he couldn't afford, smiling at me the way you smile at someone you already written off. He couldn't pay for breakfast without a credit line that didn't belong to him. I texted back with 4 words. Check your email now. Then I headed to the financial district. By the time I reached my office, Tyler has discovered exactly who Pinnacle Ventures, the fund holding all of Brooke debts, actually belonged to. Brooke and Tyler stormed Meridian Capital's Chicago towers just before noon, demanding to find my cubicle. Security intercepted them on the trading floor and 50 analysts watched. I stepped to my office doorway and signaled the guards. Let them in. They're just in time for their audit. Brooke slammed both hands on my glass desk. Unlock the accounts. You couldn't handle what Mom said, so you decided to sabotage everything I built.
What?
I opened my letter ledger. Let's talk about what you built. Lemire generated $11,000 in revenue last year and spent $420,000 on executive compensations. Your skincare line has 0 inventory and 0 customers, but pays Tyler $14,000 a month in consulting fees into his personal account. And Tyler's advisory firm had never filed a line invoice, but is still on the list on the Porsche 911, and a platinum cars you almost exclusively at steakhouse and watch boutiques. I closed the ledger. You don't have business in Brooke. You have sale companies. Tyler recovered fast. The debt is held by Pinnacle Ventures, a massive institutional fund. You have 0 leverage over them. I slid a business card across the desk. Pinnacle Ventures, a wholly owned subsidiary of Meridian Capital Group. I slid a business card across the desk. Pinnacle Ventures, a wholly owned subsidiary of Meridian Capital Group. His face went gray. I built Pinnacle to acquire distressed debt from companies guaranteed to fail, I said. Companies exactly like yours. I didn't hack your accounts. I called in the debt. Every cent you own to me. I pushed a formal 48 hours notice to vacate across the desk. Their River North condo has been listed as collateral on a Rutland loan. It now belongs to my fund. Then I opened the red folder. I worked them through the original loan documents, the ones used to fund Brooke's companies, executed using my forged signatures on the day I was standing in a London high school completing an international fellowship. I had the passport stamps, the flight records, and the corporate security logs. Richard and Diana had stolen my identity, forced my signature, and wired millions across state lines to fund a lifestyle that would never dare to have. That wasn't a family arrangement. That was a federal railroad. Tyler understood before Brooke did. As a licensed broker, he knew what it meant. Edison scrutiny, joint stack returns, luxury access purchase with stolen funds. He wasn't an innocent bystander. He was implicated. His license, his career, and his freedom were all suddenly on the table. Security escorted them out past the entire trading floor. Brooke's heel clicked. Her voice echoed. The glass doors closed. My office went quiet. Richard called that afternoon with a sickeningly warm voice. Come home for an early thing. giving sweetheart. Let's put this behind us. I drove to the Hamptons. Diana met me at the door with the red eyes and a prepared apology. The medication, the champagne, the words she didn't mean. I stepped past her without a word. Inside, Tyler's were pacing and sweating. Brooke sat hollow eyes on the sofa. And there, placed precisely beside my dinner setting, was a 50-page legal document with a silver pen on top. Unauthorizations and debt relinquishment agreement designed to pardon their identity theft and erase my rights to collect. Diana tried Anastasia. I corrected every phone memory. Tyler tried financial jargon. I cited federal statutes until he stopped talking. Then Richard dropped the act entirely. He shoved the documents toward me and delivered his threat with cold fury. Sign it, or he would make one phone call and destroy my career. He knew board members. He knew executives. He would have me blacklisted. He knew board members. He knew executives. He would have me blacklisted, indicted, and bankrupt. I picked up the silver pen. The room held its breath. I snapped it in half. Ink slathered around their carefully wrapped salvation document. I reached into my bag and slid a manila envelope across the table. Richard laughed when he saw it. It for a closer notice on the estate. He started explaining reverse mortgage with the confidence of a man who believes ignorance is the same as authority. Until I told him that the Sentinel Trust Fund have gone under in August. That my fund had purchased their entire distressed portfolio, and that now I own his mortgage. He has been in default for 3 months. The extensions were gone. I put on my coat and walked out. Richard ran to the porch and screamed into the dark. I raised the tinted window and his voice disappeared. That night, Richard locked himself in his study. That night, Richard locked himself in his study and drafted a fabricated 50-page desires, fake investment charges against me, forced accounting ledgers, manufactured email designed to look like a leg. That night, Richard locked himself in his study and drafted a fabricated 50-page dossiers, fake investment charges against me, forced accounting lectures, manufactured email designed to look like a legitimate whistleblower report, and sent it directly to Marcus, my CEO at Meridian Capital. Bypassing every standard corporate channel, he is since feeling like a man who had just ended someone's career. Diana went live on social media from the smaller grass bathroom, propped her phones against a stack of books, and wept magnificently for 45 minutes. She told her country club audience that her crew, unfaithful daughters, were using illegal corporate loopholes to evict her elderly parents from their generational family home right before the holidays. By the time she finished, she has launched a crowdfunding campaign for emergency legal counsel. The comments filled instantly with people who had known me at a trial, calling me a sociopath. The donations started coming in, funding their delusion. Upstairs, Tyler has already done his own calculations. He found the last $58,000 of the requests remaining across Brooke's 3 cell company accounts, and quietly routed every cent through an encrypted transfer to private Cayman Islands accounts he had opened 2 years earlier. Brooke walked in and found him mistransferred, suitcases already open on the bed. He told her the truth, that he has married her for the generational wealth her fathers had always claimed to have, that her businesses were a fiction funded by someone else's stolen identity, that he was not going to lose his worker license or face federal prison because her parents couldn't manage their finances. He threw divorce papers on the bed and walked down the door without looking back. Brooke drove to a roadside motel on the county line. Her cars delayed one after another at the front desk, and paid for one night with $84 in front bills. Brooke drove to the roadside motel in the county line. Her cars delayed one after another at the front desk, and paid for the one night with $84 in front bills. She called her social life friends in the suggestions. One of them told her that Tyler has already warned the entire social cycle about a federal investigation. Her husband, Orleans, has advised everyone to cut contact immediately. She called Diana, who told her she didn't have time for Brooke's marriage problem right now. She and Richard were repairing the dossier that was going to destroy me permanently. Diana hung up on her own daughter without saying goodbye. Monday morning, I walked into Meridian Capital at 7 a.m. The trading floor was wider than usual. My assistant pointed toward the executive boardroom. Marcus was already inside with Richard's daughter flag urgents on the table, and Richard himself already live on the conference line. I sat down. Richard performed magnificently.
The greed?
I sat down. Richard performed magnificently.
Grieving father, the reluctant whistleblower.
The raving father, the reluctant whistleblower. He outlined the embezzlement, the insider trading, the stolen access. When they finished, Marcus leaned back, muted the line, and laughed. Full, generous, completely unguarded laughter that rippled through the glass walls. Richard, 6 months ago, Elena walked into this boardroom and handed our compliance team irrefutable evidence of your identity theft and wire fraud. We outright every acquisition she makes through Pinnacles because it will eliminate this threat access opportunity.
A pause.
We knew exactly who we were buying that from. A pause. But here's what I want to thank you for personally. By fabricating these documents and transmit them into the state life for manipulate a publicly traded entity, you just committed federal wire fraud and extortion. Our legal team forwarded your email, your IP address, and your digital signature to the FBI approximately 10 minutes ago. Something crashed on the other end of the line. We just have dropped the phone. Diana wrapped it. She screamed about the estate, the generational property, the family legacy, the legal history I couldn't just rewrite. I told her quietly that she had read the ropey summary and stopped at the Richard's name, too busy planning the renovation to read the access transfer clauses. My grandfather had never left the estate for Richard. He had placed in an irrevocable trust naming me as the sole beneficiary the moment I turned 30. Richard and Diana was conditional tenants. Their tenancy had expired the moment they committed crimes against the primary beneficiary. Richard had forced my signature on a reverse mortgage for a house he had never legally owned. I ended the call. On Monday at 8 a.m. at the Hamptons. 4 Civic Cruisers drawn up the driveway. A moving truck followed. The neighbors came out in their wrath to watch, screaming about birthright and generational wealth. Two deputies tackled him against the hood of the lead cruiser. Then three black sedans pulled in behind the sheriffs, doors flying open. FBI agents in tactical jackets stepping onto the vehicle. They caught Richards on the right way. He wept and mentioned his country club connections. They put him in the cars and drove away. Diana collapsed on the curb with two suitcases. A restless taxi pulled up and drove her outfit with a trash bag. The IDC has frozen all the Tyler's offshore accounts. He had fled the state and she had nowhere to go. They sat together on the sidewalk and the neighbors retreated behind. They sat together on the sidewalk and the neighbors retreated They sat together on the sidewalk and the neighbors retreated behind their front doors one by one. They both looked up at me. I looked back. Then I turned, walked up the stone step, and pulled the heavy old door closed behind me. The house was wired. I poured a glass of Bridges vintage wine and walked down to the back terrace. The November sun was breaking through the louds, cutting golden light across every inch of the property that has always legally, permanently been mine. Thank you, I said softly.
And I meant every word.
And I meant every word. If you make it to the end, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what would you have done differently?